everyone! In today's episode, I'm going to discuss several travel myths that you should not believe in. We're going to discuss travel myths debunked. Every one of us have our own travel dreams. There's no right or wrong way to travel. It's just your way. So don't let anyone or anything put barriers in your path. Here are several myths about travel that you should stop believing right now for your own good. Let's start. Myth number 1, you can find the best deals on hotel stays only on travel sites. Third-party booking sites like Expedia.com or Booking.com love to make travelers believe or think that the only way to score an attractive deal is booking through them. But in reality, you'll often find comparable rates and even better rates if you book directly through the hotel's website. Do some research before committing to a price. Booking through the hotel directly will also give you a better chance to score a free upgrade. Myth number 2, travel is very expensive. This is the most common travel myth we always hear. I can't afford to travel. It's too expensive. Napakamahal. If you want to stay in luxury hotels and always use private transfer everywhere, then of course it's going to be expensive. Eh di syempre mahal. Eh kung taxi ka ng taxi or rent-a-car ka ng rent-a-car, eh di mauubos pera mo. Treat this long-term trip as a big life event. No different from saving for college or for a big wedding or for a graduation or debut. Now we go to myth number 3. It's not safe to travel abroad. While recent events have sparked concerns about international travel, especially to certain regions of the world, the chances of a terrorist attack or nonsense shooting occurring at your destinations and during your travel is rather small. Now, as always, it's important to continue exploring all that this amazing world has to offer. They say travel is dangerous. First things first, stop watching the news. When you watch the news, it's all negative. It's sensationalized, it's over-exaggerated. When you travel, you'll always hear news about muggings, pickpocketing, or unfortunate events that are simply unavoidable. But guess what? It can happen anywhere. Maski saan pwede ito mangyari. And usually, it's a combination of bad luck and ignorance. Despite on what you hear on the news every day or read in the paper, travel is not dangerous. Of course, there are some countries or cities that you should avoid. But for most part, I'm sure you can just use your common sense. Accidents can be avoided, and I can assure you, the world is much safer than what the media portrays. Now, tips to be safe. I've discussed this already in my other vlogs, but I'll repeat it. Number 1, of course, when you travel, don't wear heavy jewelry or valuable jewelry, especially if you travel in low-income countries. Number 2, don't walk around areas that are not lit during nighttime. Diba? Number 3, always be aware of your surroundings. Number 4, learn the customs of each country that you travel para alam mo how you're going to act. 5, don't keep your money all in one place. Diba common sense lang to? Now we go to number 6. Again, this is common sense. Don't leave your wallet or your phone in your back pocket. 7, listen to locals. They'll tell you which area to avoid. 8, avoid drinking out alone. And 9, keep your carry-on bags close to you whenever you travel. So all these tips are practical. You just have to remember it. In addition, get into travel groups, read blogs, get active in social media. You can find tons of people who are in these so-called dangerous areas right now. A vast majority of places around the world are perfectly safe to travel in. Huwag lang kayong matakot. There will always be exceptions, of course, we have to admit, but the so-called dangerous areas are usually exaggerated. But you should obviously avoid going to places with travel restrictions. Myth number 4. Travel before you have children. While you may want to travel in a slower pace and plan a bit for long-haul flights when you have kids, the truth is, kids make great traveling companions. Family travel is not easy. Siyempre, mahirap, ang dami mo aasikasuhin. Aasikasuhin mo yung asawa mo, aasikasuhin mo minsan parents mo, aasikasuhin mo yung mga bata. You're going to be attending to a lot of things. But, on the flip side, it's a great way to bond with your husband. It's a great way to bond with your kids. It's a great way to bond with your parents. And not all families have a chance to do this. Educating your children on the differences and similarities of people around the world, all the while exposing them to different cultures and different way of life, will teach them skills that simply can't be taught at home. Now we go to myth number 5. Myth 5. Buying in duty-free will save you money. I'm laughing because before, I always wanted to buy in duty-free. Akala ko mura lahat. Pala, you go to the mall prices are even cheaper than buying in duty-free. Buying duty-free items means they're not taxed. Kaya nga duty-free. Duty means tax, free. So, free of duties. But it doesn't mean anything about the retail price. It's true you don't pay taxes, but the baseline price for luxury goods, example, sunglasses or perfumes, is often higher than normal in airports. The big difference is with heavily taxed items, of course, like cigarettes, liquor, or alcohol. You can certainly save money on these items. But if you're looking for a steal in the airport, naku, there's no such thing. While it's true that you can find some bargains, there are plenty of instances, however, where the inflated cost just negates the tax savings. Better for you if you research how much the item costs elsewhere before you buy it in duty-free. Things have changed now. With deals and discounts and sales everywhere, you're likely to find the same item less expensive at home. And you don't have to carry that heavy weight for that perceived bargain. We go to number 7, myth number 7, street food will make you sick. I'm not here to tell you that street food won't make you sick. Of course it can, but so is eating in a 5-star restaurant. You can also get sick. I've had the best and freshest meals in the streets of Vietnam, the streets of Hong Kong, and even Mexico. Naku, ang sarap. Sampling the street food is part of the authentic experience. At least in street food, you can see exactly how it's being cooked. Who knows what's going on in that kitchen? At least sa street food, sa harap mo niluluto, sa harap mo rin piniprepare. Eating street foods is one of the best parts of traveling. It's inexpensive, it's quick, and it gives you the chance to try the local cuisine. So don't be too quick to judge. Sometimes it may take your stomach to adjust and get used to it because they use different spices, but if you exercise caution, you'll be on the right track. If you want to eat street food and you're a newbie in doing so, research popular street food areas in the city you're in and follow the locals. Also, avoid eating ready-made meals. Ask them to cook it in front of you. That's very safe. If it's deep fried or pan fried, that's good. Now, if there's a long line, that means there's a quick turnover, therefore providing you fresher food. Now, don't eat food that is sitting on direct sunlight. You don't know if panis na yon, and you won't do that in your own home country. So might as well don't do it also in the place you're visiting. Lastly, use your own judgment. If you think that it's very dirty, then don't eat it. That's simple. We go to myth number 8. One-way tickets are always more expensive than round-trip tickets. If you're going to do some research before booking your flight, it's possible to get one-way tickets that's cheaper than round-trip tickets. Traditionally, round-trip tickets are cheaper because they want to entice the passengers to fly the same airline for both legs of the journey. However, times have changed. The evolution of online travel sites, booking apps, and even travel expos, it's so much easier for travelers to compare travel prices before booking their flight. To enjoy the best prices, you need to be flexible with your flight times and open to taking less popular time schedules. We go to 9. Myth number 9. Recycled air on the plane will make you sick. It's true that the planes use recycled air, but that doesn't mean that it will make you ill. This was already discussed during the coronavirus issue. The air in the plane is filtered, pumped in, pressurized, and sent through some serious HEPA filters, get it cleaner than the air you breathe in most confined places. You're more likely to get ill if you touch a lot of germ-infested surfaces on the plane. This I discussed in my other vlog. These are the seat back pockets, the air vent, the touchscreen TV, and a lot more. So be careful when you touch them. You always use sanitary wipes and high-grade alcohol before touching your face. Now we go to myth number 10. If you sleep on the plane, you're gonna avoid jet lag. Guys, jet lag isn't caused by lack of sleep, but rather your body attempting to adjust its natural internal clock that regulates when you're awake and when you're asleep. So the best preparation for getting adjusted to a different time zone is slowly adjusting your eating, your sleeping, your walking, and waking times in advance of your trip so as not to shock your body. We go to myth number 11. Visit popular tourist destinations right when they open. So you want to beat the crowds, you go there early, right? Not necessarily. Trendy tourist spots are always going to be crowded no matter what time. And there are more likely to be more crowds first thing in the morning. You're better off visiting that popular destination during midday or before they close. Now we go to myth number 12. I don't need a travel insurance. Maybe not, but for your peace of mind, I think it's worth it. In my honest opinion, if you can't afford a travel insurance, then you can't afford to travel. We hear too much stories about people being mugged or people getting hurt and find themselves stuck in an overseas hospital with no way of getting home. If you get sick while traveling, insurance is worth its weight in gold. We go to myth number 13. Hostels are the cheapest way to travel. For solo travelers, hostels are usually the cheapest form of accommodation. But if you're traveling with someone else, consider looking at Booking.com or Expedia or Airbnb for a private room, as it can only be a few dollars more compared to 2 individual dorm beds. Hostels are great if you're looking for that kind of atmosphere and if you want to meet a lot of people. But if you're trying to save money, don't steer always to hostels, as there are a lot of booking accommodations that are very affordable nowadays. Okay, let's go to myth number 14. Hotel cards have all your personal information, including your credit card numbers. This is inaccurate. Hotel key cards just have a code to open your hotel room door, plus some basic information. However, if you're worried about that, just keep the card or destroy it. Hotels don't usually care if you're going to give it back or not. Myth number 15. Guidebooks know best. Usa pa bang guidebooks ngayon? Parang hindi, di ba? Before, we found ourselves using guidebooks for the first half of our trip, mainly throughout Europe. But then we realized that they weren't the best form of travel advice. Why? Number 1, it's outdated. Number 2, it's heavy to lug around. Number 3, it's written by people you don't know, therefore you cannot relate. Number 4, it's expensive. So what's the alternative? Bloggers. You can follow the likes of a blogger online. It can be a blogger or a vlogger. They give first-hand travel tips and information with real stories to back up their advice. They often give you off-beaten-path tips and restaurant recommendations, as well as local advice. Another good way is ask a local. I'm sure they're going to give you valuable advice because they know the area. We go to myth number 16. All-inclusive means you'll only just pay one price. The all-inclusive myth is one that many people fall for. While most charges may be covered by one initial fee, you'll have to read the fine print and discover everything that's not covered by the all-inclusive package. Example, in cruises. Many cruises have steep charges for internet connection, and sometimes you have to pay extra for non-alcoholic and alcoholic drinks, upgraded meals, and selected shore excursions. So read the fine print. And now, myth number 17, the last myth. You'll need an international driver's permit to drive anywhere overseas. In many countries, especially in Western Europe, a driver's license from your home country is enough, as long as you're not staying in the country for more than 90 days. In the US, you're required to have a valid driver's license in possession to be able to drive there. This can either be issued by the US state government or your foreign country. So yes, you can drive with your foreign driver's license in the US. However, note, this is important, that your local driver's license should be issued in English. The name, digits, symbols should be in English, and it should be easily be readable. If not, you're required to secure an IDP, International Driver's Permit, from your local country. US allows visitors to drive up to 3 months with a foreign driver's license. This is from the date they entered the US as per official records. Okay guys, that's it. I gave you 17 myths that you should not believe in whenever you travel. I hope you learned a lot from my tips. Thank you for sharing your time. Again, maraming salamat. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I really would appreciate it. Please stay safe and please take care. Bye! Travel na... This is the most most.
Yeah.
This is ito na naman. This is this is the most travel myth I always hear. Travel. You should obviously never. Okay. We go to number 7. Street food will make you sick. We go to number 7. We go to number 7. Street food. We go to number 7. We go to number 7. Street food. Food. Street food will make you sick.